So what have you been thinking about lately? Anything in particular? I mean, I know that leaves it wide open. There's so much to think about and talk about right now. It's not always easy, or it's not all encouraging or empowering, or not all stuff that makes us smile, is it? But the last few weeks, I've had the privilege of hanging out with family that I don't get to see all the time. I took a trip to Florida for a few days, which was always and always is a real treat. I mean, they take me in. They make space for me in their days and their routines. They include me and do special things just because I'm there. We share life and adventures together, and it's awesome. And then family came this way for a graduation, and we gathered to celebrate and share life together for a few days and more. And just Sunday, this past Sunday, I officially began a new interim pastoral position. And in the last few weeks, as I have begun to meet with various groups and teams and individuals, as I have sought to prepare myself for leading worship in this family of faith and connecting deeper, all along the way, they have opened and welcomed me and accepted me into their family of faith. It has been a pure joy and a privilege. All these experiences have been reminding me of Romans 15:7. This is how the Amplified Translation says it. Therefore, continue to accept and welcome one another, just as Christ has accepted and welcomed us to the glory of our great God. In there, I hear two significant words that we hear much about, even in the midst of this life that we're in, and rightly so. Welcome and acceptance. If you look in the dictionary, welcome means to greet someone arriving with a glad and polite or friendly way. I like that. And then it kind of went to welcoming. Welcoming is behaving in a polite and friendly way to a guest or a new arrival. And the word accept. Consent to receive something or someone offered. Believe or come to recognize an opinion, an explanation as valid or correct. Have you checked in with yourself as how you have felt welcomed and accepted lately? Or have you been welcoming and accepting to those around you in this season? We are encouraged in Romans 15:7. This is how Eugene Peterson says it in the Message. So reach out and welcome one another to God's glory. Jesus did it. Now go and do it. Pretty simple, right? Maybe not so much. Just because we are told and encouraged to do so doesn't mean that it comes naturally to us, especially in the culture and climate that we're living in these days. So how simple is it to do? Have you thought about it? Not always, right? In this encouragement, there are no parameters and no exceptions. Just do it. Reach out and welcome. The Amplified implied that it might have been happening already in their community to continue to accept and welcome one another. And that's something that they should continue to do. Why might that need to be said? I've wondered. And then I thought, there have been folks who have been welcomed and accepted in the past that now are not in the accepting column anymore. Can you think about that? Who have we accepted that right now may not be accepted? Immigrants, migrants, people of color, no matter where they come from, people with neurodevelopmental disabilities, autism, the LGBT community, especially the trans community that is, the fear is intensified in their treatment. Those who have experienced low income, that aren't as privileged as many of us. Students who come to study here in the United States from other countries. And there's so many more that have moved from the accepted to the not so accepted. The world around us are setting parameters and expectations. And we see it. But not so with Jesus. And that's who Paul says is our standard bearer. J.B. Phillips' translation says it this way. So open your hearts to one another as Christ opened his heart to you, and God will be glorified. As Christ has opened his heart, just as Christ has accepted and welcomed. Jesus did it. Now you do it. Enough said, right? Now it's our turn. As Christ has opened his heart to us, so open your hearts to one another. And as we do it, God will be glorified. That's not a bad day. Pray with me. Gracious God, things are changing around us. Markers and barriers and columns and people are being moved and shuffled here and there. Some who have been accepted and welcomed are no longer accepted and welcomed. Some of those in our community are feeling outside the community, are feeling fearful and afraid. That's not what you want. That's not what you say. That's not who Jesus taught us to be. We are to welcome and accept one another, all the one another's that you bring into our lives, those we know well and those we have yet to meet. Empower us, encourage us, and may we accept the encouragement and the challenge to love one another, all the one another's around us, to be welcoming, to open our arms, to be a safe place, to be love. Jesus did it. Now it's our turn. Give us the grace and the strength and the empowerment and the rightness to walk in the footsteps of Jesus. Amen. Kathy, now we invite you to help us with a breath practice. These, I use them all throughout the week as I breathe in deeply sometimes. So thank you for what you bring to us.
This breathing practice today is coming at just the right time. Every single computer that I have is not working, and I have a major presentation due. So this breathing recording is working perfectly for me to help settle my mind. So we're going to use one of patience. Inhale through nose, hold at the top, and then exhale through mouth. Inhale through nose, hold at the top, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale, and then inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then let your breathing return back to normal. So when you are practicing on your own, if you inhale and hold and then let go and hold empty, that gives you a little break in the pattern of what we normally do. But do that only for a short time and then go right back to equal inhale, exhale. Thanks for breathing with me.